Well, it says I'm live.
You look live to me.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, welcome. Live from the crossroads of America. A 1 hour talk show about, well, it's not about, it's shooting with disabilities. And if we run out of topics, then we go on to guns, politics, and anything else that crosses our mind. We'll answer questions from the audience. Just put them in the chat. And, we'll try to answer them. Or you can email me at rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com or spottedrick at gmail.com. We are broadcasting on gun channels and YouTube. And if you like, I have a Patreon page and all that good stuff if anybody's interested. And all the information is down below. So there we go. And what else I was going to say? Yeah, the audio, all my shows are on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher. If anybody wants to listen to some back issues, as you're driving along, you can download them on those things. So, anyway, let's see who we got. Yoder, Texas is first in here. Sabrina is in here. Gun Loving Grandpa. Midnight Range is here. James Stewart. How you guys doing? Let me introduce the panel I have so far. Up here on the top, we got Squibload. How you doing?
Good evening. Welcome, everybody, to the Patriot in the Dark show.
Yep. Then we got the Patriot in the Dark.
Woohoo!
All right.
Just mentioned the swamp ape, and I cracked my window open. I got a skunk outside. So
have fun with that, man.
Yeah.
Well,
but thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Having a wonderful Wednesday.
Yes. As I was saying to the guys before we went live, if you see my camera go off and my mic, gets muted, is because I don't feel well, and I might have to make a quick run to the bathroom to either, be sick. Let's put it that way. So I don't feel good. Also, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but today, if people remember, October 9th was the day I arrived in Indiana last year. So I've been here a year today. And it only seems like a couple of months. But there we go. All right. Since I haven't been feeling well today, I'm slipping on topics. So I'm hoping you guys are going to bail me out here.
Oh, plenty of topics.
Okay, go for it. Give me one.
Oh, you needed one?
Yeah.
Well, how about who's in the chat? Who's out there? I know you already read it, but I'm
okay.
Who else? Get really easy.
You're the Texas, Sabrina, Gun Loving Grandpa, Midnight Range, James Stewart, Snob's Wife 76, Raphael.
Well, I would like to say happy birthday to I usually just call her ma'am, but to Stacy out there, happy birthday.
Oh, okay.
And welcome to Sabrina and everybody else. But I was just going to do a giveaway, so
let's do one then. If you want to do
a giveaway, but you got to come up with a question. I didn't email you.
I know you didn't.
I was in the midst of making a short advert to send people over to your channel, but I'm celebrating because this is my first day where I broke through 500, which I'm going to slip back because as soon as anybody finds out, they're going to unsub me. But I actually broke 500 today.
Wow! Congratulations.
That was a surprise.
I lost a sub somewhere along the line. So I know
I lose them all the time. I just and the other thing that was really cool today, I posted a picture on Instagram yesterday. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see it's got an orange background and it was all Black Guns Matter, and so it was shotgun, AR, AK, and a bunch of pistols and stuff. And I actually broke over 100 likes on that thing. I'm just beside myself. Besides all the political garbage I'm going through right now, so it's a half a good day and half a, nothing that a nice Belgian waffle wouldn't cure. You said midnight's out there. He should send me one.
Yeah.
So do you have a question? I know Squib. He's always got questions. He's full of questions. Otherwise, I'll have to mute and email you one because I can't see the chat.
All right. You got a question, Squibload, with an answer?
No.
Say he let you down, Patriot.
Yeah, I'm not big on these contests and giveaways. I'm not saying they're a bad thing. It's not my thing. So
okay, that's actually a good topic. Okay, because I made a video, and did I put it out? I think I did. No, I didn't. I might have. I don't know. Anyways, talking about giveaways, right? There's a lot of different ways people do giveaways. They do it, random and live chat where they say, okay, everybody, and they get a little random list and do your little giveaway that way. There's the ones that you leave a comment and you get a random thing. I like the ones where you actually send people out to do something that you kind of get the feel of the movement of people that are watching, that they actually can do menial tasks, so that there's a benefit of what they're doing besides just leave me a comment or a thumbs up or whatever, subs, all that kind of stuff. Like with the Next Generation, where I sent everybody over to do that to CloverTac, so that they could check out those videos, see those use, and get some motivation that not all kids are lazy, video game sloth kids or whatever. They're actually doing things. Go over, pick one out, and put it in the comments. And I only had 3 people, and I think I've already talked about that. Seems like I've already talked about it, but I did give the winner, since I only had 3 people out of I had like 30 some comments, but there was only 3 people that actually completed the giveaway. And so instead of giving them stickers, I gave Scott a Patriot in the Dark logo T-shirt. And so that was kind of some motivation, because that's one of the things I do. If there's not many people that do it, I usually bump up what it is.
Yeah.
Just because, you showed the effort that you actually did it, that kind of thing. So with that, I think there's a good way of doing giveaways. Just the random, put a comment, that's not really doing anything. It gets more people to your videos and to your channel and that kind of stuff, but that's not important to me. I'd rather have you go out and actually send an email, or I don't know, punch a politician or whatever the task might be. It's actually doing a task that's getting something done. And so that's kind of what I like to do. But obviously on like this, the trivia questions, that's pretty much,
All right. I mean, here's an easy one. I've used it. I've used it before in my weekly quizzes, right?
Okay.
But it was in the early days when I first started doing it. But people should know this one.
Everybody's got their ears on, right?
Right. This is a write-in into the chat, right?
Yes.
Okay. In the original movie Red Dawn, what is the name of the person that is killed first outside? That's an easy one.
I think the last one that won that one is in the chat.
Oh, he more than likely is. Yeah.
That's fine. We got some more.
Hey, but nobody's answered it yet.
Uh-oh.
That surprises me. They're all typing away on Google trying to figure it out. Yeah, Kingpin's out there in the chat, but not in the room here. Yeah.
He's probably working hard. He does that.
He's socializing.
You know how my day started off this morning? We'll bring this up because it kind of deals with in a silly way. It kind of meshes up with shooting with disabilities, right?
Yeah.
I woke up and at 4:30 in the morning. There's nothing on TV, but I always turn stuff on, and I don't like to listen to the news much. So I came across the channel, and they were playing the original war games, right? What's his face there, and shall we play a game, kind of thing. Anyways, those voices are some of the ones that the screen reading software that blind guys use, and obviously you're shooting missiles, so that's kind of cool. So, but that's how my day started off with that, and right after that, the Deer Hunter was on. I didn't watch it because it was way too dang long for 6 o'clock in the morning, but I did find a channel that had all that stuff, which was kind of cool. So
yeah. Kingpin said GumTube won't let me in on mobile. So
you got to use the Gypsy Me. That's the app, because when you go to the browser through the link, it'll say, "Do you want to open that app?" You actually have to use that app, that Gypsy Me.
okay,
I'm sure he knows that. Yes, it's I can find out what it's called there.
Yeah. Now come on, people. That question wasn't that hard. Nobody's got it. I am disappointed. I'll give you a clue. It was a school teacher.
Well, no kidding.
I just need his name. I tell you, they're pretty slow out there today. You want me to come up with another question, or you got one? Aha! Raphael's got it, Mr. Tisdale.
Yeah, so, I think he was the one that got it last time.
He more like was the one that entered a year or two ago.
Thank you for saving the show, Raphael.
Yeah, thank you. So there you go. So what's he won?
Gypsy meat. I'm sorry. If
do what?
Hang on, I'm trying to get the characters here. JITSIMEET is the app that GunTube goes through on mobile.
Oh, okay.
Until it's So as of right now, that's the one that you use. And it's pretty straightforward. You just jump in there, bang, bam, Bob's your uncle.
All right. So what did Raphael win?
Oh, I'll send him a bunch of stickers and.
Okay.
So yeah, just shoot me an email, patriotinthedark@gmail.com. And I don't know. You want to talk about something, or you want to give something else away?
Whoa.
Is there anybody out there? Are they breathing? Are they talking or something? They doing anything out there?
They're all saying hi to each other. I mean, who's this?
I'm sure.
Right. How you doing?
Hello.
Hey, that's the guy that does that GunTube chambers.
Yes.
I think you're using it right now. I'm not sure.
Now, what about GunTube mobile?
That's it. It's in the works.
So right now, I mean, because Kingpin said he couldn't get in here, so you have to use that Jitsu or whatever it's called, right?
It's called the Gypsy Meat. That's the open source software that we're using.
Okay.
But the thing is, the software, you can basically make your own deployment, or your own servers, and run the software and connect to it and whatnot, and everybody can chat and whatnot. That way one company can't see. That way you host your own, so that another company can't tell you they don't like what you're saying, get off their server.
But until he gets that complete, you just use Jitsi Meat app right now.
It's in the works. I'm trying to get it all settled, but the issue is I'm having a hell of a time with the new software for GunTube, and
you've got mail.
You've got mail.
Yeah.
So I've been working hard on this. So.
Well, you got it back working, or did you put the old system back up?
No, I have not put the old system back up. I've just got, I just installed the new software. I may have to reinstall the server. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But that's not going to bother the chamber, because the chamber runs off of multiple servers hosted elsewhere.
I would just unplug it and then plug it back in. That's what the cable company always tells me.
Well, that's for your computer, not a dedicated server.
I'm just joking. It's been one of those days.
I mean, did you get my package?
Yes, and I recorded 6 videos, and none of them were up to Mike's quality. So I have to redo them tomorrow. Okay. But yes, I was in the midst, and yeah. So there is one in the mix.
What package did you send to me, Raphael? I sent you a package, didn't I? In the mail. All prizes went out. They all got. I took them to the post office first thing Monday morning. So you should be the people who won should be getting their packages either today or tomorrow, I would imagine.
Yeah. I also hope Raph got my package, because I sent him one too.
So.
Night Strike, I have a question for you. You are in South or North?
South.
South. Okay, because
the one that seceded first.
I was watching a blind YouTuber. He was interviewing a gentleman that's from South Carolina, and he's actually he's in charge of the South Carolina chapter of a blind shooting group. And there's 3 states, I believe, that it's in. I'm going to get that and pass that information on, because it was really interesting. But I totally forgot about it until you jumped in. So I am totally unprepared. So
yes,
awesome. I like unprepared.
I'm unprepared too. So
well, that's pretty bad, because it's your show.
I know, but you weren't here. But I told the audience was that I haven't been feeling well all day, so I just haven't. I mean, I was going to put a little thing out saying I wasn't going to do it tonight, but I like doing it, so I forced myself to be here. But I was unprepared with questions and stuff.
The show we can go on
if you want.
So do you have a question, a trivia question there, Mr. GunTube?
Trivia question. What kind of trivia question do you want? A gun-related trivia question, or just any trivia question?
Gun would be pretty swell, but maybe something that's worldly, because there are some worldly people in the chat, I believe.
I'm not sure. I don't think I have anything.
Huh.
Yeah. All right. What's the capital of Norway?
That's too easy.
Are you looking at the chat?
No, I'm not looking at the chat. I'm pulling it up right now.
You're pulling it up? Oh.
I'm pulling up the YouTube side.
Did anybody get the answer? Well,
not yet.
If they get the answer, obviously it's going to be in order. So if it takes GunTube a second to look it up here.
Well,
I don't know. Should I be calling you GunTube?
Yoder said Oslo.
Yoder said Oslo, and I believe that's the correct answer. Because you said Norway.
I did say Norway.
Yeah. So Yoder has got it.
All right. Well, Yoder, send me your info. I'm sure I have it, but I'm claiming that I don't, just in case. To patriotinthedark@gmail.com.
All right, there you go. Oh, Kingpin wants everybody to remember that the 2A rally in D.C. on November the 2nd. And for all the people who bitch, I don't know if, most of you don't subscribe to him, but Hickok 45 actually put out a 2-minute video this morning talking about it.
Yes, he did.
And saying he's going to be there. So
and that's not the first time he's done something like that.
Yeah,
but where I'm going with this is
he did it in 2013, 14 as well.
Him doing that, right? And more people have watched that video. I haven't looked to see how many hits it's had, but I would imagine he's going to get to a big, wide crowd. So I hope that makes the haters more, that
a few years ago, there were people that were complaining constantly that he's all about doing his reviews. He's all about his sponsors. He's all about the NRA. He's all about making money. He never talks about anything political or two-way. And it kept going on and on and on and on. It must have filtered down to him because in some of his shooting the breeze, he started talking a little politics. He danced around a few things, but he did talk a little politics, and he did start talking Second Amendment. And he did explain that that's kind of not what he was getting in, not because he doesn't believe in it, not because he doesn't believe in freedom. It's just not where he was going, but he's done that. He's done some videos where he talked about certain things going on, get information out to his audience. No, that's not every second or third video he does. It's like every 10th video he does. He's gone to events. I've talked to the man face to face, and he's not like, I'm not a big fanboy because his shooting videos are boring as crap. But he actually stopped to talk to every single person that wanted to talk to him. He was one of the last people to leave. The rally was practically empty, and he's trying to walk to the parking structure where his car is, and people are stopping him, and he stops and talks to everybody along the way. He could have just made his speech and bailed like Mr. Big Shot, and he didn't. So there's a lot of people out there that say, oh, well, big channels like his don't do enough. And there are some channels out there. They're all about just reviewing products, satisfying their sponsors, and making money. But I'm gonna call it the way I see it, and that's just not the way he wanted to do things. But he caved to the pressure a few years ago, and people are still saying that he's nothing but a shill and he's not doing his part, and I totally disagree. There, I said something.
I do too. But anyway, Yoder, Texas, it's Patriot in the Dark, all one word.
Yep.
So Patriot in the Dark, Yoder was asking what was the spaces in your address, and I'm just saying no. Patriot in the Dark, all one word, at gmail.com. Yeah. Well, anyway, I just looked. He has 30,000. He's reached 30,474 so far. I've watched it. So. And, we'll see what happens. He's going to be there. So there you go.
Now, I'm not going to say if 10,000 people show up to this, I don't think he's going to stop to talk to 10,000 people individually. There were only like 600 or 1,000 at the Columbus rally, and not everybody. He probably talked to over 100 people, but he didn't talk to all 600 or 1,000. But still, it's just the fact that people want to talk a lot of trash, but they don't check their facts first. And sometimes I talk some trash, but I usually get it firsthand, my sources, before I start doing that. I think that some of these channels have an advantage in the fact that they have a big audience and they can get a lot of information out. But I also think that just like some channels do some things I don't agree with, it's their channel, do it the way you want. So if this big channel says, no, I'm just going to be about making money and I'm not really interested in fighting, that's their prerogative too. And I have no problem with somebody calling them out saying, hey man, why don't you use this valuable resource you have? Well, he's been using this valuable resource.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he has. So there you go. I just wanted to mention that since we were looking for stuff to talk about. Somebody also did mention.
Hey, Rick, talk to your camera real quick. Turn it off and back on.
My camera?
Yeah.
Now, I have terrible bandwidth here. Don't forget.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that. There he goes.
What?
Okay, because it was saying connection lost with you. I don't know.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Maybe it was just your video. So
I'll turn it back on, or shall I leave it off? I mean, everything here is my end saying it's good. You know? So, all right, I'll go with it and let's see what happens. Okay, somebody mentioned in the chat, if you want to get down, I don't know if it's a topic we want to get into, political stuff. Somebody said, what's our opinion on what's happening in Syria today? You know? I mean, it's was that the right decision to move them away from there? And but see, they knew that Turkey was coming. That's why he pulled the American troops out of there. The 50 so men he had there. That's the way I understood it. Because he tried to get the Turkey guy not to do it. He's the president of Turkey, isn't it? Isn't that his title? Not to do it, but he couldn't do it, so he pulled his guys out of there. You know, now they're coming through. Now, has he left the Kurds, you know, down there to, you know, who have been our allies? Have we left them to just get slaughtered? I don't know. But, you know, I really don't know the answer to that one. I mean, Trump said we're not a police force, and that's what the world thinks we are.
We are.
You know. Well, that's what it's turning out to be.
No, we have been since the end of World War II.
Yeah, but we shouldn't be.
I disagree.
Do you?
Yep.
Why?
Okay, here's the thing. We've got interests around the world. We're not going to be able to ever be isolationists unless we become like a second or third world country. So the isolationist thing it isn't going to work. It's a global economy. We're a part of it. We're the big dog in it. That sort of thing. Sometimes you've got to project your presence militarily in order to, I guess, be a part of the global economy or have the security for your citizens that are all over the country or all over the world doing business. You also have to support your allies, and you have to keep your enemies in check. You also have to keep an eye on your enemies. Oh, there comes the train. And you there's a lot of things that, don't get me wrong, it's unpopular. And when you're over there in these third world crap holes and you're going, what are we doing over here? It's more of a big picture thing. It's more of a big picture thing. I'm not saying that every decision we make is right, and I'm not saying that every action by everybody in the military when they're deployed overseas is perfect. And I mean, things come up, issues happen, accidents happen, atrocities happen. There's a lot of unpopular opinion, but if we want to be the world superpower, because now we're it's not two superpowers, there's just one, it's us. You're kind of stuck with that sort of responsibility, especially with us being a global economy. The only way that it would work is if we went isolationist, and in this day and age, that's just not going to happen. It's just not.
Yeah, I guess where I'm coming from myself is, I mean, I was reading today that, you know, the UN's nearly broke again, and they expect us to bail them out again. We already paid 22% of the total of what it costs to run the damn thing.
Screw the UN. They're one of the biggest wastes of anything. I'm not a big fan of the UN.
Yeah.
I've had to serve with the whole UN thing, and it looked like the Keystone Cops.
Yeah, I was reading that this morning, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. You know, here we are bailing out the United Nations yet again. And that's where I'm thinking about being, you know, the world's police, because they all...
When we're the world's police, we don't answer to the United Nations. We don't... When we're over there, when you see on CNN, you'll see the white tanks or armored personnel carriers or trucks or whatever, because they paint them white and they put black UN on there, and people are, and the military forces there are wearing the uniforms of their country, carrying the weapons of their country, but they got a UN armband on. And then you see the Americans. We don't paint our stuff white and put UN on there. We don't wear UN armbands. We do have a UN medal that you can win and stuff like that, but we're the only ones over there that are going, yeah, we're here, but yeah, we're not with these guys. So it's two different things. We don't let them tell us what to do. Sometimes we jump in on UN policies that don't really have anything to do with the military, but other times it's like, no, we're the United States. We're the big dog. You don't tell us what to do. And you know, part of that involves, unfortunately, being the world police.
You know, and also remember that you know, with the UN really shouldn't tell us what to do, because, well, I think we're one of the founding members of the UN itself. I mean, probably, if we're not the first country, we're like the second country that founded the UN.
Well, we pay the most money. We pay over $600 billion a year, or was it into it or some shit? You know.
Oh.
So,
but what some people have to realize in our country and in other countries is that the world isn't as safe as what they tell you in your big, you know, metropolitan city. The world is not as safe as that city. That city isn't really that safe either. But, you know, we're splitting hairs at that point. But, you know, Squib will tell you, in other countries, it's a hell of a lot more dangerous than it is, you know, say on any American street.
oh yeah, I mean, I've been to some of them third world countries. I know exactly what you mean.
You came from one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember as a kid living in the Philippine Islands. That's a third world country.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and even as a kid, they used to tell us, you know, be careful if you go off base, you know, to and stuff, because kids would go missing and die and all that kind of shit. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, one part of good news is the Supreme Court has told New York that they're going to have to move forward with this case. The mutinous, is that how they pronounce it?
Mutinous.
Has not been dismissed, but they're got to move forward. So, you know, which I think is good. So December the 2nd is when they start hearing this case. So more than likely that's when New York will bring that up again. You know, that it should be, you know, it should be mute because they've changed the law. But if they accept that, it will never, ever. I mean,
they'll change it back. They'll change it back after the fact, and people will be, you know, SOL.
What I'm saying is that, I mean, that if they go with it, all these other cities and stuff are waiting to see what happens. And if they back down to New York, the rest of these cities will just follow along and say, look, you know, it's okay because the Supreme Court didn't say it wasn't, you know. No. That's the way I was looking at that, but I think it's good. And I hear there's a cert there that they're hoping that they'll pick up for Massachusetts, the assault weapons ban. That the governor of Massachusetts, no, not the governor, the district attorney of Massachusetts deemed that the law has been misinterpreted for the last 30 years or however long this assault weapons ban has been in place up there in Massachusetts. I think it's been since I'm trying to think. I think it was because of Sandy Hook they brought it up, or it might have been before that. But she said no, it's been misinterpreted. All assault type weapons, whatever an assault weapon is, are banned. But she said I'm not arresting people who have them, but they can't sell it anymore in this state. They can't buy any in this state, and I'm not arresting the people that have them, but I can. So so all the people in Massachusetts that have AR-15s and AK-47s variants and stuff like that, they're felons in waiting, basically. You know. So that case, there's a cert at the court, at the Supreme Court. Now, whether they pick it up or not is another question. That would be a good one if they pick that one up. That would settle the question once and for all.
That attorney general in Massachusetts is the one that decided to go all rogue and reinterpret things, which is not her job description, isn't it?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. And I believe on a side note, I think she's being sued civilly over it too.
Let's hope that goes through.
So no. Patriot, you're being very quiet. He's gone off on me. That's why. He's not even there. Look at that.
Patriots MIA.
Yeah. I mean,
it works. I was just using the mute button. I was talking.
Okay.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
I was saying, Mike, your shoes untied.
Yeah. Fire funny.
So what were we talking about? I was not paying attention. I was writing an email to you, Rick.
No, you were?
Yeah, I found the video that was discussing the blind group in South Carolina and the gentleman that was talking about it. So I sent you a link to it. You might,
yeah, I got it.
I mean, if you get the name, you could probably put the name out there or drop the link to that video because that was pretty cool. It's two videos. That's just the first one.
Okay, let me go back to here.
It's pretty interesting. The first one just talks about how he lost his sight with an accident, and it was pretty tough.
I dropped the link in the chat to the video you just sent me.
Okay, sounds great.
So
everybody's got homework.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's Squib's fault.
Yes. Anyway, we've got past halfway, so let me do. The quiz I do on Saturdays. I showed it last week. We got my stickers and all these other kind of stickers here. I got 2 patches, one of the U.S. flag, and I believe that's the Ruger patch. And I've got a wristband from Alan Anchor, and some of these stickers are from her too. And I just wanted to say, thank you for everything she does for me. I appreciate it. And this is an email quiz. You email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. And the question is for this week, get it into me by noon Saturday. That's Eastern time, the only time zone that matters. And the question is... let me get back to where I'm moving the page. Here we go. In France, their national police and their Grenadier National, they got 2 different types of police force, I believe. Here you go. In 2003, both agencies made the biggest small arms contract since the Second World War for about 250,000 firearms. I want to know make and model of those firearms.
And it is not a cork pop gun either.
No. So that is the question. What's the French police? Both of them. There's a national police and the Grenadier National. How you pronounce it? There's both of those agencies. Put an order in, and I want to know the make and model of the gun that they use. Email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. So there we go. I just wanted to throw that out there. So you got to Saturday lunchtime to get that into me. So, all right, moving on.
And it's not a rubber band gun either.
No.
What year was that though, Rick? Again,
2003.
What?
2003. Okay.
That's when they put the order in for it. I ain't going to give you too much because if I give too much, people will know what it is.
Yeah. Besides, you're supposed to be chatting right now. There.
Yeah, Kingpin says French gun equals sissy sticks. All right, I hope. I mean, we have is it Sabrina in here from the Netherlands, so I hope we got nobody in here from France. You know, I live in France. I've been to France a few times, and it's a great place if the French weren't there. That's all I'm going to say. You know. I mean, I've been to Paris a few times, and to me, it's a dirty, smelly city. You know, and I think what's so bad, yes, when you go to a foreign country, right? You should try to speak their language if you can, right? It's just out of courtesy, you should try. You know. The French, I noticed when I was there, you know, you're trying. They know you're screwing up, but they will not help you out and talk to you in English. They all learn English in school, you know, but they're sitting there and make you struggle, you know, and they look at you down their noses at you like you're some. You know. Actually,
there is one time they will speak English to you. Is if you are from the French part of Canada, and you try speaking French Canadian to them, they will ask you to speak English because your English will be much better than your French.
Yeah,
that is the only time the French will speak English to you because you're speaking French Canadian and it's not the same.
Yeah, they won't speak to you either. They get even ruder. I love Canada.
Yeah. Oh, Seven Wonders said his best friend's in Paris right now with his wife. A very belated honeymoon. Hey,
good for him.
I mean, Paris is an old city. It has some great history to it, you know. But I might be biased with my English blood in me, you know. And especially what I was going about when these French people won't help you out if you can't speak their language, even though they understand English. You know, I want to say to them, God damn it, we've bailed your ass out twice.
Well,
you know,
that's kind of like you know, people from England being over here when they can't speak English and they can't understand how English is really spoke. You know, we try to help them out, but sometimes you get upset about it. You know, and they push their torches and all that other kind of funny words.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I tried to learn French, and when you go to an English school, they try to teach you French. God knows why, but they did. I was never over keen on it, you know. So, see, but what happened was I went to an English school when I was in 7th and 8th. My 7th and 8th grade, I spent in an English school. Was it 7th and 8th? Yeah, I think it was. Then my father got stationed to the Philippine Islands, and we followed, because back in those days you used to follow afterwards. So we followed afterwards, and I think when I got there, I finished off 8th grade in an American military school, you know, a Dodge school as they were called, Department of Defense schools or something. Then I went into 9th grade, 10th grade, and part of the 11th. And when we came back to England, we came back to the States, then we left the States and went back to England. My father was retired from the military, but if I wanted to go to the American school, they had to pay because he was out of the military now. When you're in the military, you kids got to go. Now, my brother was 18 months older than me, and he was in his senior year. So they paid for him to go, and they sent me back to the English school. Oh, that was a tough move on my part, I tell you. Of course, I go back to the same school I was in before. Well, I know all the kids there because they're still there, right? But where I'm going with this is they throw me back into a French class. I ain't had French for 3 years, and they expect me to be, I said I used to sit in the corner and read comic books.
Did you tell them? Listen, I've been in the Philippines. They speak Kamalik, not French there.
Well, let's see. If you're in England, you take a wrong turn, you'll end up in France, won't you? Through the tunnel.
Yeah. So,
well, they built that later.
As Sabrina says, there were 2 world languages, English and French, and that's why they won't accept you or not speaking their language. Yeah, you're right. I mean, but see, English should always have precedence because if you notice the language of the airplanes and stuff is English, not French. It's English. So all around the world they speak English when they're flying airplanes. So
Rick, when did you leave England and come back over here? What year?
95. No, sorry. I left England in 93 and spent 2 years in Germany. Then I came here. I think it was November. Was it November the 7th or something like that? I can't remember exactly what day it was, but it was in 1995.
So you weren't there when they opened the Channel Tunnel?
No.
Okay. And that's the tunnel that connects France to England.
Oh yeah. I mean, they had been trying to. I mean, that tunnel they've been trying to dig it for over 100 years. You know what I'm saying? But they never got enough funds. Then they finally did, and I mean, before I left, the tunnel was complete, but it wasn't open. So they were
probably still stress testing it.
Yeah. So, see, and now this is where, where the new prime minister says we're leaving the European Union October 31st with a deal or without. That's what they're afraid of because a lot of trade goes through that tunnel now. They can pass borders without nobody stopping them. And if we leave, right, all of a sudden you're going to start having borders there. So it's a complicated thing, but I think they should get out of it anyway. I think it was the worst thing England ever done was getting into that.
As if there weren't borders before. There were borders.
Yeah, there were borders before, but the European Union, I don't know if that's what they call it today, right? Is now I think you can travel all over. It's all one big, like here. You make something here in Indiana, you can go drive it to Illinois like we do with our guns. I did, but
yeah, they still call it the European Union. So
yeah, but what I'm saying is, we can drive across the United States here without being stopped, right? That's what the European Union's been trying to do, and everybody's. What happens is they're given. What England is upset about is it's getting so bad where all the decisions are being made out of. Is it Brussels? Is that where the headquarters is of the European Union? I can't remember
Brussels.
Brussels. But even like their gun rights. The only reason, guns were always very controlled and stuff in England anyway. But they got even worse because the European Union said this is the gun law that's going across, and you have to follow it. And England did. Their sovereignty. What's the word I'm looking for?
Sovereignty
is being taken away, and the English people don't like that.
Well, the thing I don't like about the European Union is they're trying to be like the United States, except they still want all their separate countries.
Yeah.
And don't try and emulate us and then take the best parts out of America just so it suits your needs. Sorry, that's not how it works.
They're trying to emulate us, but they're trying to be socialist about it.
Yeah,
They don't want France. They don't want Belgium. They want Europe.
they want it to be just Europe or the European Union or whatnot. They don't want any other country but Europe.
Well, that's what's different about us and them is we have one nation with many states. They want one nation.
Also, because they're socialists, they don't believe in God.
Now, don't forget, we got Sabrina out in the audience here, out in the chat. She's from the Netherlands. So, is the Netherlands in the European Union?
It is.
You know, I mean, good example is like Switzerland is not. But the European Union has told Switzerland you need to follow our regulations or you won't be able to do business with us.
Yeah, and that I don't like because that basically, Switzerland has had, not great gun laws, but kind of sort of decent gun laws for Europe. And I say for Europe, okay? And basically the European Union forced them to adopt the European Union's anti-gun policies because if they didn't, they would take away the trade agreements they had. And that's the biggest crock of bull I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah, Sabrina says the Brussels really sucks, and they want stuff what isn't even possible. But getting out at this point isn't an option anymore because the damage is too big already. I mean, she doesn't even like being. I mean, I said, is the Netherlands in the European Union? She goes, yes, unfortunately we are. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
A lot of countries don't like it. Because
it's taking away the sovereignty of their own. The European Union is enforcing laws that takes away the sovereignty of the country. I mean, as I just said with Switzerland, the European Union says, "Oh, we want to dictate gun laws, so you have to adopt our gun laws, otherwise we penalize you for it."
But the guys in Brussels, they're not elected either, are they? I think they're just there, or I could be mistaken. I don't know much about them, but the ones that are pushing different agendas.
No, they have they have members who are voted in. Right, but I don't know. I can't remember how it works now. I think the president is appointed. I think, he's not. I don't think it's voted in. It's not voted in by the union itself.
One would hope.
No. It's been so long since I've been there, and I don't follow it that much. But I'm just saying, it's just a bunch of
that's the other problem.
Because you've adopted the American side.
Well, it depends. It depends what the argument is. We had this discussion the other morning in the chat. Is I have a bad habit. If something's pissing me off over here, I'll say to everybody in the chat, I'll go, "You guys haven't got a clue," right? Because I'm thinking with my British side of my head,
Well, you need to stop.
I only pull out the American card, like Patriot pulls out his blind card on us a lot. I pull out the American card, British card.
I don't really
it's my purpose.
But when Patriot does that, Patriot does that, and we don't see it coming. So I mean, he does. Congrats, Patriot. But it's just I don't know. Europe had to endure communism. Half of Europe had to endure communism, the Cold War, and everything. And you'd think those politicians would have learned from growing up under that shit that socialism and communism aren't the greatest things. But apparently, they didn't get the memo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gun websites reminded me I got to do the meat cut of the week. Do I do that on Wednesdays or do that on Saturdays?
You can do it either.
You can do it both. And during this time, Kingpin has to come up with a good question for the chat.
What was that?
I'm on it.
Okay, you get a good
Okay.
good one.
Kingpin's on it? Okay. Okay, the piece of meat I'm thinking of now that's very tender, which people don't realize is a blade steak. Or
Is that flat iron?
it comes out of the forequarter. It comes off of the underneath the shoulder bone. And
Is that flat iron or flank?
yeah, well, yes, it's like flat iron. It's that. I mean, that is the name they call it. With a flat iron, is they take it and they cut it long ways, right? A blade steak or feather steak is they slice it, across. Either way you cut it, it's a tender piece of meat, But unfortunately, since they came out with the flat iron steak, the price of it went up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But if you can find a meat place that still sells it as blade steak or feather steak, it will be a lot cheaper. Buy that, and that is tender too. Throw it on the grill, or you can do it under the broiler, and all that kind of stuff. So,
Well, I've done steak in the oven using the broiler, and I gotta say, really nice.
oh yeah, it does. It works out pretty good. So, I mean, I don't know. I might use the same one for Saturday, or I'll think of another one.
And before you say anything about last week's, look in the chat and see who gets last week's meat cut of the week.
Do what?
Okay? Well, you remember what you said for last week?
Last week for the meat. Yeah, I know what the answer was.
Okay. Anybody put it in the chat?
Oh, that's a question for a quiz?
I
Okay, that's it. What cut of the week was the meat I did last week? I'm not sure if I did it Wednesday, but I know I either did it Wednesday or Saturday show. But I know exactly what I was talking about. Does anybody in here remember?
Yes.
I'm starting this new section here, the cut of the week, because I'm an old meathead.
I thought I was going to be have a really good one, and I mentioned it. My dad's like, "Yeah, we get those all the time." So he kind of shot me down. I didn't know that, but
yeah. Now everybody's telling me what they eat, and now they're making guesses.
London broil.
It was on Saturday, I do believe.
It was on Saturday. Okay, I mentioned it on Saturday.
Oh wait. Yes, it was, because I wasn't there Saturday, and I even know what it is.
Because you listened to the show, didn't you?
And it's not.
Wasn't it Saturday you were talking about pig's eyeballs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not pig eyeballs, just for reference.
But nobody's got it yet. All right, they ain't got it. We got to come up with another question.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Kingpin.
No, it wasn't round.
He's ready.
It wasn't round steak, G-Webs.
Mm-hmm.
No. Everybody's wrong. I mean, Jason Stewart says beef steak. That's awful kind of general question. That's the whole goddamn cow. You know what I'm saying? So,
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. So you guys want me to explain what the cut of the week was last week?
I think you better. Nobody's going to guess.
I don't think they're going to get it.
Okay. What I was talking about last week was a chuck eye steak.
Chuck eye. Okay.
Chuck eye steak. Where when the prime rib is cut off the forequarter, it's 7 bones. It's the prime rib. Now then that's taken away. Then you're left with the chuck and shoulder. Right there at the end, where the split was between the 7th and 8th rib on the chuck, the 8th rib, it's about 2 inches wide, and you cut that into 1-inch steaks, and it's beautiful because it's basically ribeye, but since it's not part of the ribeye. They call it chuck eye, and it is the most tenderest piece of steak you've ever eaten.
Really?
You know, so if you ever go to your meat guy, ask him if he's got any chuck eye steaks. I mean, they should be half the price of ribeyes, and oh man, they taste great. So, Kevin in New York said, Rick must be a butcher. I used to be before I became disabled. That's what I did for almost 40 years. You know, except for one time, we're out of time, but I'm sure I've mentioned these guys before. Except for one time, I decided to get out of the meat business, and I became a British milkman. You seen the movies where they're driving the electric cart with all the bottles and the rattling in the back on those electric carts? I'd done that for about 3 years.
They still do that?
Oh yeah. As far as I know, they still do. You know?
You know, they stopped doing that here in the United States. People just go and buy their milk.
You know, I used to do that. I had 420 stops or houses I had to go to every day to drop milk off of. Either, 2 bottles, 3 bottles, whatever it was. I remember one time that I would start at 3:00 in the morning. I would go load the milk up, then hit the road. Then I'd be home by lunchtime.
G asked the question out there.
Did butchery triple you? Well, in a way it did. I was forced, but yeah, you could say. I mean, what actually it's kind of funny was I was unloading the actual meat truck at the last place I worked. I was unloading it, and it's on a slight incline, right? So when you put your cart there to throw the boxes onto, you normally have to put the brake on the wheel to stop it from moving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could have sworn I put that on because I'm loading the cart. I mean, I get the cart almost full. Then all of a sudden, I turn around to grab another box. As I turn back around, the cart is running down the parking lot. And it's going straight for people's parked cars. Right? Now, this cart must have a few 100 pounds on it. Right? So, me, big and lumber, and I lumber after it. I grab hold of it, right? And I tried to stop it, and the thing just pulled me over right on the ground. Splat eye went down there, and that's how I screwed up my hand. Because as I was going down, I put my hand down to stop my face from hitting the tarmac, and that's what screwed it all up. The doctor said I would have been better off with my hand if I had broke it instead of just tearing it up like I did, because they operated on it and I got big dents in there and I had pins all the way up it, and that took me out of work. I've only got 75% use of the left hand. But when I fell down, what it did was I've always had back issues, but it aggravated the back, and it damaged my left hip was already arthritic, but that made that worse too. So with all that going on, my doctor decided I should just sign up for disability. And so I did, and I got it first time.
Which is an amazing thing in itself.
Yes, which it is, because it's very rare.
You've heard how hard it is for some people, right?
Oh, yeah. Some people try 3 or 4 times to get it.
And we're not talking about the people that are trying to teach the system. I mean the people that really do need it. Yeah. It's hard as hell for someone to get disability.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 Live Move just said, my neighbor is a meat cutter and gave me the same advice on the chuck eyes. I tell you, it's a pretty good piece of meat. So, there you go. All right, guys. I believe up now is Clover Tech. He's got a round table to do with you shooting or something.
Is he?
I think that's he releases it. It's not a live show, but it is released on
He doesn't do
Wednesdays, I do believe.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm not
Which-
sure. Is
they're all recorded.
is a bloke's 2 cents? Is he doing his thing tonight?
He didn't
I
post
haven't gotten
anything.
any.
He didn't post
Okay.
anything, and I think last week's shooting, Next Generation, was the last episode for this season.
Okay.
Okay, but I know he's got something tonight because he posted it.
Oh, I haven't got
He's
the
got
notification yet.
So if you can't find anything to do, make sure you go over and check out the Next Generation. It's really good.
Yeah.
And
And at
share
9
those
o'clock,
things.
you got 9 o'clock. You got the Liberal, never enough ammo, and after that, I believe you got Rants and Raves. So, is that tonight? Night Strike?
It might be. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It depends on what roll call is doing. If roll call is ready for it, I will probably be there. If he is, if he's not, then we'll do it next week.
All right.
Do you have the
Okay.
link? Do you have the link for the Second Amendment Almanac?
I
do
don't.
not.
G-Webs is in the house. Maybe he can put it in there. He's got it right.
There's a couple more days for that. Make sure
Yeah.
you do that, because you can get a couple of those and drop them off as free gifts to your gun shop, or pass them out, hand them out.
Oh, I got the hand. Oh, Seven Wonders said in North Carolina, certain folks tend to get disability rather easy, along with the handicap parking sticker. I got the handicap sticker. Oh man, that thing is a beautiful. It really is. It's a shame I'm hurt, but it is nice to be able to park up near the front of the store, But it hurts, I mean, I'm in pain a lot of times. I try not to show it though. So did you putting out the link there, G-Webs? I think you can put links out as a what's the word I'm looking for? A moderator?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah.
And also check out the Second Amendment Rally. That's 2ND amendmentrally.com, and get information about are we doing wrap-ups, or I'm just throwing stuff out here now?
You're getting ahead of the game, but yeah, go ahead. You can be first.
Any of the people that came that haven't been to Rick's channel, make sure you sub him, because we do this every Wednesday, and he also has a Saturday morning chat as well.
Saturday afternoon.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm backwards. My mornings are...
Yeah, I know. No problem. No, the only reason I'm saying that is because I'm thinking, is it Black Cat Outdoors? I think he's trying to start a Saturday morning show, so I didn't want people to get confused. So since our buddy Travis P11 doesn't do Caliber Corner on Saturday mornings anymore.
No, he doesn't. He does that on Monday evenings.
I know. I used to like it on Saturday mornings because I would listen. I would have it playing in the background, listening to you guys while I was setting up my stuff for my show.
No, you didn't like it because we would talk about sights and red dots and scopes, and you weren't interested in that.
No,
I mean, yes,
when they done the sights and rifles, it would bore me, but I would still listen to it. But a lot of when he talked about other stuff,
you get bored about that.
I would come up with topics, then I would watch his show, and he's already talking about them. I just think, God damn.
Rick, you get bored about that, but but as you get older, you realize you're going to have to start getting some of that for your firearms, because you won't be able to hit the target if you don't.
That stuff is just a fad. It's a crutch.
Yeah. All right.
So, very funny, Patriot.
All right. Jim, I lost my thing here. Let's go back to where I was. Squibload, any shout outs or plugs? He must be on the roof or working or forklift. We'll come back to him. Have you done all yours, Patriot?
Just make sure you go check out there's a lot of new shows that G-Webs is on, talking about the Second Amendment rally and the Almanac as well. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm getting calls right now. So
Okay.
everybody
All
have
right.
an outstanding week.
You too. Nice strike. Any plugs, shout outs?
Nah, just watch Ransom Apes tonight if you want, or just watch Never Enough Ammo's, Geeks and Guns, or is it Guns and Geeks tonight? One of the two. Just watch that.
Okay. Kingpin. Any?
Peace out.
What was that?
Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Yes, and I want to say, everybody in the chat, thank you for all stopping by. We got all kinds of people in here tonight. G Webs, E Hondo 720 from the gay chat. On Sunday nights. You got to jump in there. I like the one from the other week when he was talking about Bigfoot. That was pretty cool. We got Seven Wonders in here. We got all kinds of people in here. Ghost Technicals just jumped in as we're coming to an end. So we got a new guy, Kevin, in New York. We've had I think Sean Ponnery joined us too. Patrick. And I believe even Angelina from Alabama was in here earlier too, I believe. So I appreciate you all showing up. Thank you very much. And I will be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m., but I also will be here this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So I will see you all then. So good night, everybody.